Hey guys, and welcome back to Bad Luck Garage. Judging from the last china-vette video comments, it's pretty obvious I need to go over what the plans are. Also, the new brake booster and master cylinder for the Project LS Swap Nova, the DR Nova, came in yesterday. So we're going to take those over to Ray's house and we're going to talk a little bit about exactly what the plans are for this Corvette on our way over there. I hope you can hear me. I mean, this thing's not real loud, but the last time I recorded a video in here, the resonance seemed to be, I don't know, it kind of messed with the audio a little bit. I was using my GoPro Hero Session that time, and this time I'm using the Hero 5, so we'll just see how that turns out. Anyway, after seeing some of the comments in the eBay cold air intake install on this Corvette, it became kind of apparent to me that some of you guys, I guess, didn't watch the first video where I actually bought this Corvette, or maybe, you know, I just didn't explain what was going on well enough in that video. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to explain what the plans are for this thing, you know, where it's going, what our goals are, all that. Off the bat, I want to say yes, we are going to build this thing with eBay parts. I'm actually going to go into a little detail right now. What the plans are, we've already installed the eBay air intake. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out. And yes, it actually ended up, the fitment wasn't that bad. I just, you know, I had a couple issues with it that I wasn't happy about, but other than that, it turned out great. And for $45, honestly, I expected a lot less. No, I do like to play with nitrous. I've been putting nitrous on pretty much everything I owned for 20 plus years now. So this thing's getting nitrous too. We've got our ZEX wet kit that I do have all the I do have all the jets for up to a 75 shot or a 175 shot. So we're going to be putting that on here in an upcoming video. I'm going to be doing a full install video, guys. You know, for any of you guys, not just on the Corvette, but any of you who are wanting to install nitrous on an LS engine in general, it really is pretty simple, little time consuming, but you know, but it's not hard to do. So I'm going to be going over that. That video is going to be probably very detailed. So those of you who complain about, you know, my long over detailed videos probably are not going to like that video. I am also, in the next week, I believe I get paid next Friday, I will be ordering a eBay exhaust system and headers. And here's the deal with that, guys. This thing came with a Borla Type S exhaust system, okay? Now, the deal with that is, originally I was going to pull it off and I was going to put an eBay exhaust on it. But if you look up the eBay exhaust systems, they are exact clones of the Borla Type S exhaust that's on this car, which is basically just a straight through muffler dumping out the tailpipes, you know, into 4 tips. I really don't see the point in spending another $300 and pulling this exhaust system off when the exhaust system that I would be buying is literally the exact same thing without a name brand on it. Now, if this exhaust system was the touring system or something like that, that used an actual muffler, that, you know, we weren't sure about the internals being reproduced or something like that by you know, a Chinese company, then I would say, yeah, I'm going to order the cheaper exhaust. But in this case, the exhaust system I would be ordering follows this exact same exhaust system, bend for bend, guys. I mean, it comes out, it hooks this way, it bends this way. There's a straight through muffler that's more like a resonator. I mean, it's pretty hard to fuck that up, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that the Chinese version of this exhaust, I'm not going to assume that it would last as long as this exhaust, but I'm going to have to assume that it would make about the same power. So there's no point in me spending the money or the extra time doing that. So we're going to leave the Borla exhaust on it. We already replaced the Volant intake. with a eBay cold air intake. We're going to be getting eBay headers, an eBay X-pipe with no cats. I actually want some comments on that, guys, because I'm looking on eBay and there are several different companies. There's DNR, there's Speed Performance or Speed Engineering, which actually makes a pretty decent product, and it's priced about $100 more than the other eBay sellers. There's Manzo or something like that. But if any of you guys have experience with any of these eBay companies, let me know what you recommend, because right now I've got about 4 different eBay exhaust systems saved in my watch list, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to order, you know, next Friday to go on here. But so like I said, if you've got a recommendation for an eBay company, leave it in the comments below. Keep in mind, we are not using name brand parts yet. Okay, this is an eBay build. That's why we're calling it the china-vette. Now, other than DNR, none of the other exhaust systems, the headers that I'm looking at, have the hookup for the air injection system. So I've actually already ordered an air injection delete kit, which is kind of like, I guess, Corvette's version of EGR, but we're going to be getting rid of all that. And something I wanted to mention is, you know, the little nipple on the eBay air intake that I was complaining about in the last video, you know, that won't even be an issue after that, because once I install the air injection delete, that hose won't even be there. We'll just be capping that nipple off. So for the guy who spent 2 paragraphs and 2 posts cussing me out over wrapping that with tape, saying it wouldn't last, I already knew it wouldn't last, guy. I also knew it wasn't going to be on here more than like a freaking week, so I wasn't worried about it. Now, guys, the eBay build, the goal is 10s, okay? I don't care if it's a 1099. I just want to hit 10s with eBay parts, and there's several reasons I want to do it. The main reason being cost. You know, I want to show that you can get, because you can pick up one of these C5 Corvettes for pretty dang cheap, guys. And I just want to show that you can take one of these, have you a 10-second car that'll compete with a lot of these, you know, these new cars that are coming out, you know, the newer Corvettes and stuff. You can have something that'll compete with those, and you can still have fun with, and only spend, you know, what, $1,500 in eBay parts to do it. The Nitrous system that I'm using, I think if you bought it new today, it's about $600. But NX Express, or Nitrous Express NX, they actually make I think it's called the Proton kit, and it does basically the same thing that my ZEX kit does. And I think it's like, you can pick it up for like less than $400 on eBay, guys. I think like $380 something like that. Those are the goals for this car, and you know, some of the parts I plan on using. Of course, I'm going to have to upgrade the fuel system. I would like to put a Walbro 450 in here, just like we did on the turbo truck. The problem is probably going to be the same as it was on the turbo truck. This Corvette filter regulator is probably not going to mesh well with the high output of the 450 pump. So we'll probably have to do a different regulator setup, and we might even, you know, well, if we have to, we will. I mean, we'll do another one of those eBay regulators like I put on the truck. I mean, if you go back and look at those, the eBay regulator follow-up video, I had that thing on the truck for what, over a year, and it never leaked, never let me down. So I was pretty happy with that. I wouldn't mind putting one of those on here if that's what it came to. That being said, there is one area that I already know I'm not going to be able to turn to eBay for, and that is the 4L60E automatic transmission that's in the back of this thing. I've got a pretty good feeling that once I start spraying this thing, that transmission's going to take a dump on me. And it's probably going to take a dump way before I ever get to the 10-second goal. So I may have to actually spend some big money on that. You know, what I'm looking at doing, guys, and I knew this going in when I got an automatic. I'm going to go over, I'm going to do a whole different video, guys, over why I bought the car that I bought, this car, and why I got an automatic instead of a 6-speed, yada yada. I'm going to go over all that in another video, but I just want to say I knew going in that I was probably going to have to, you know, build the 4L60 in here, or at least do some kind of modification to it. We are going to try to use an eBay stall converter. I'm going to be looking for probably 3,000 to 3,200 stall, and there are several eBay sellers that sell those for this 4L60 for less than I think $300. They're in the $300 range. So initially that's what we're going to use, guys. We're going to follow our china-vette theme, and we're going to order an eBay converter. But like I said, I got a feeling it's going to be not long after that the transmission's going to end up crapping out on us. I'll probably use a transmission cooler, an auxiliary cooler. These things are known for running pretty high trans temps, so that would probably be a good idea. But anyhow, now that you know the plans for this build, I do want to say this is not going to be the final build for this car. So, you know, all you guys that are upset because I'm putting all these eBay parts on a Corvette, that's fine. I mean, I just want to prove a point, guys. You can go fast for cheap. But what we're doing, guys, is once the goals are met, I'm leaning towards maybe a supercharger, something of that nature. So at that point, we're going to take a right hook on the build, or a hard right turn on the build. And some of the eBay parts will be coming off. I may actually be giving them away to some of you guys. Don't start posting now. Don't start, I want the exhaust, I want this, because, you know, we're not doing that yet. That's way down the road. But I will probably, you know, do like little contests and stuff to give some of the eBay parts away that I don't keep. Some of the things I will keep, depending on how they hold up, is I probably will keep the headers and stuff if we go with a supercharger. But anyway, guys, so that's the deal. Like, we're calling it the china-vette right now because, you know, we're building it with primarily Chinese parts. And also I want to say that if I find a cheaper deal, and I'm going to give you an example of that right now, if I find a cheaper deal on a part that I know is still Chinese, but it's not necessarily an eBay part, I'm going to go with that part on this build just because, well, it's cheaper. And ultimately, that's the point of this build, is not just Chinese. It's to be, you know, it's to order cheaper parts, the cheapest parts you can get, without buying used parts, because used parts aren't reproducible. You know, somebody might get, like somebody commented on my how much does it cost to turbo your LS engine. Somebody made comments on there about how, you know, oh, well, that's not reproducible because you used a used turbo and used you know, all that. So that's why I'm going to stick to new parts, but I'm going to go as cheap as I can, guys. And the example is the line lock. I'm actually ordering a line lock for this thing from Jegs, and the reason I'm ordering a Jegs line lock is because, number one, it's the same Chinese line lock that you see all over eBay anyway. It's just got a Jegs sticker on it, guys. So still china-vette. But number two, it is the cheapest line lock that I could find that comes with the complete kit, comes with all the lines you need, you know, to bend and tie it in. It's cheaper than most of the eBay line locks when you start factoring in all the extra stuff it comes with. So, you know, we will be putting that on here, and I will be ordering it from eBay, but it is a Jegs part. So, you know, just so you guys know, that's, you know, that's the deal with it. This Corvette, once we meet our goals, hopefully on less than 175 shot of nitrous, because I really don't want to put that much more nitrous through it than that, you know, with the stock internals and everything up there. But once we meet our goals, then we will reevaluate and possibly look at doing a forced induction build. I know the turbo truck didn't turn out well for us, but there are a lot of reasons for that, and a supercharger would eliminate a lot of the headaches that I was having with the turbo system, you know, as far as all the heat under the hood and things like that. So I'm leaning kind of later on, after we finish this build, I'm leaning kind of towards the I'm leaning kind of towards the supercharger thing. Hell, we may even do a LSA and cut a little hole in the hood around it or something, you know, pull some Cletus McFarlane shit with it. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I do have a pile of parts back at the garage. I had to work today. I'm on call this weekend. I'm going to try to get another video out probably Sunday, late Sunday night or early Monday morning, because I do have some little stuff that I want to install. We are going to do some cosmetic upgrades to the outside of the car. You know, I decided I wanted to kind of make it look badass, even if it was full of Chinese parts. But I also have like a hood seal, things like that. So I'm probably going to be doing another video tomorrow. I may even do it while I'm riding around at work. Just do another one of these little vlogs and talk about, you know, why I chose this car and why I chose an automatic, things like that. But anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.